Hello, everyone. Welcome to Development Palates. I am Aaron Loomis, coming to you from the Ventura Cigar Company studio, and with me today is John McTavish. How you doing, John?
Doing well, broadcasting from the Great White North Snowy Central Studios.
Yes. I mean, it is October, right?
Yeah, yeah. I
Okay.
thought foolishly, I thought, hey, it's October. Maybe we'll have 2 or 3 days in good smoking. No, that is incorrect. Snowstorm is currently hitting right now. Good
So,
times.
since your smoking time is so valuable, we are going to talk about the Factory Smoke Suites by Drew Estate Toro today.
Whoop whoop.
Cigar is 6-inch by 52 ring gauge, comes out of the Fabrica Drew Estate factory in Nicaragua. Wrapper is Habano. The binder is, the binder and filler are both Indonesian Sumatra. Price point is a whopping $2.10. Cigar was released in July of 2018. So, with all the information out of the way, what was your smoking experience like, John?
Let me tell you about my smoking experience. The first third was kind of an undefined sweetness to start out with. Obviously, it's got a sweet tip, which I kind of noticed right away. You kind of notice some things. Wow, that's never happened before.
Great
Okay,
impression. Keep going.
awkward. No, so I mean, ironically enough, what was interesting is that the sweet tip doesn't have. I find with sweet tips, you get this sort of cloying, artificial, almost like a aspartame flavor, and it's really off-putting for me. I
Mm.
didn't find that. It was like honestly like a natural sugar or like a natural vanilla flavor. So I believe it or not, I enjoyed it, and it wasn't overpowering. It was just kind of an accent flavor. First third kind of continued to get a little bit of cedar developing, and then the kind of flavors balance out with that vanilla sweet tip and a little bit of post draw pepper, kind of at the back of my throat, a little bit of hay. It's not a very overly complex first third, but it's not a bad first third. And then getting the middle third, the hay kind of picked up, a little bit of nuttiness joined in. And I think the second third kind of was the more balanced of the three thirds for me. Like the flavors kind of hit that point. And maybe that was because the sweet tip kind of fell to a light plus light level. Like it obviously as the
Mhm.
cigar progressed, that influence of the sweet tip really started to fall. And then going into the last third, which I rated as subpar, it started out hay and cedar, which wasn't too bad. A little bit of mild sweetness finishing each draw. Unfortunately, this kind of bitterness, like harsh bitterness, kind of crept in and then kind of stayed for the remainder of the smoke experience. So it kind of unfortunately killed the last third for me. In terms of burn and construction, I rated it as good. The burn was pretty wavy throughout the experience, requiring some touch ups in the first third and middle third. Ash held on well in about half-inch increments. No issues with the draw. I rated it as perfect. It was kind of in the ideal zone, although it was leaning towards the open spectrum, still within that ideal zone. How was your experience?
Yeah, I mean, I got that the flavoring from the cap on the pre-light draw. It's kind of like it has that sweetness, but there's also a little bit of kind of barbecue type spiciness to it, so it's a little interesting.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's lighting up, peppery, creamy wood, along with that kind of sweet and spicy flavoring that I was getting from the cap. A little further in, the pepper and cream kind of fade away as this little mustiness kind of joins in to pair with the wood. Flavoring from the cap, a little more subtle, kind of just pops in here and there on various draws, primarily like when I'm licking my lips and things like that. Um, Slight black pepper kind of rejoins the profile about an inch in. Red trail is kind of like a light and creamy wood. Um, Third wraps up, still kind of musty and peppery wood with some of that flavoring from the cap. Strength in the first third was just at mild. Second third, a little bit of kind of cream rejoins in along with that musty and peppery wood. Black pepper increases a little bit, about half-inch in, creates a nice kind of a pleasant pepper bite to the profile. Red Trail is really creamy, a little bit of peppery wood there as well. That barbecue spice plays well with the wood and the pepper that you're kind of getting from the tobacco. About an inch in, the cream leaves the profile, starts becoming a little dry. Still musty wood. Black pepper is kind of getting to be a bit mild. Red Trail is really just musty wood. And as the second third's wrapping up, it's just kind of musty wood along with some intermittent flavoring from the cap. Black pepper completely dropped out. Strength bumped up, still just mild medium, so it's nothing big. Final third, still that light, slightly dry, musty wood profile. Flavoring from the cap is really intermittent. It's still there, but definitely not as prominent as it was before. It's either completely gone or it's just that I'm so used to it, it's not a big deal. About an inch in, a little bit of cream kind of returns to the profile, but it's still still drying there. And that's kind of how things wrap up. It starts to heat up a little bit. It's like a little bit of mintiness, but the strength did bump up to medium in that final third. In regards to burn, it was a little wavy throughout, but it never needed any attention. Ash did hold on 1 inch increments. And in regards to the draw, I thought it was perfect through like the first half of the cigar, but then it started to loosen up a little bit. So that was kind of a negative aspect to it. So what were your overall thoughts about this cigar?
I mean, obviously, we're talking about, I wouldn't call them seconds, but we're talking about bundle cigars. So, within fairness, within the environment, I mean, we're not used to reviewing bundle cigars. We're used to reviewing premium handmade cigars.
Right.
And I would say that this is a bundle cigar that's made in a premium handmade way. Near as I can tell, it's probably the best factory bundle cigar that I think I've ever seen. Because normally when you see a factory bundle, they're janky. I mean, they're full on janky. The
Right.
wrappers are gnarly. There's missing pieces. The cap looks like I put it on, and that's not the case. I mean, you look at the cigar, and I mean, yeah, it's got a little bit of, obviously the Habana wrapper is not a grade A first pick, but it's not bad. So with all that said, it's a pretty average smoking experience in terms of complexity, but quite frankly, that's what I would expect out of a bundle cigar. And I think, really what we're talking about is for $2, is it a good experience? Is like for $2, man, if you rate this based on the fact it's a $2 cigar, this is a phenomenal cigar for $2. Is this the kind of cigar I would smoke? No, but I think guys who smoke $2 cigars are probably going to buy these by the bundle because this is probably the best $2 bundle cigar out there. I don't know of, like, most of the time I've smoked a bundle cigar and it's just like, man, this is nasty.
Yeah.
And really at no point, I mean, yeah, I was bored at times, but at no point did I go, man, this is a nasty cigar. What about you? What was your overall experience?
Yeah, I mean, I think you kind of touched on that, but in the eyes of a premium cigar smoker, this has everything going against it. It's $2. It's got a flavored cap to it, so people that smoke premium cigars are already like, all right, I'm out. I'm not interested in this cigar. But I mean, I thought the flavor profile was good through the first half of the cigar. Kind of that peppery and creamy wood. Even that flavoring that's added to the cap, it's not off-putting or anything like that. I mean, I thought it was kind of enjoyable. I mean, who knows? Put it on some potato chips, maybe it's gonna taste good. I don't know. It didn't take anything away from the enjoyment. It wasn't like, oh, this would be a good cigar if it didn't have this. I didn't get any of that. But hitting the halfway point, definitely a drop off for the cigar for me.
Yeah.
But construction is really good. It wasn't like it's like you're getting it or it's just super flaky because it's all short filler or anything like that. The draw was good. I mean, it didn't it loosened up as this in the second half, but it wasn't like I was sucking air through a straw or anything like that. Yeah. So it's not a big deal there. I think I'd have to smoke more to judge consistency to see if that's kind of going to be the way it works. To kind of get to the halfway point and then it's going to fall off. Yeah. But I mean, even if that's the case, for $2 and you toss the cigar at 1.5 inches in, or whatever it is,
halfway, whatever,
3 inches in, because it's a 6-inch Toro, you got your $2 worth, man. And plus, you in 3 inches, you get more than $2 worth. So, I'm very interested in smoking the other factory smokes. The Shade and the Maduro and the Habano, I think is the other one. I just want to see what it's like. I want to see if I don't know. Does this one have an advantage because it's got the flavored cap that kind of gets you a little additional oomph to go through it, or
maybe
the other ones? Can the other ones kind of compete at that level? I'm just curious because the other ones are all cheaper. I mean, there's an additional cost to this one, I think, because of that flavoring and probably the process to apply it.
Maybe the complexity of the blends of the other ones are adjusted, assuming they don't have this. I mean, I am also interested, and we kind of joked around at the show because we were handed the factories, and he kind of said, don't review these, but we review everything. I mean, we got to review because people are out there curious about this cigar before they buy it, and I'll review anything, man. I'm like that guy that eats cereal. Yeah, I'll try anything. I don't care.
Yeah. This is there's nothing wrong with this cigar. I mean, it's there are cigars that I've smoked this year that cost 5 times as much as this, and I've scored lower,
20 times.
So so there's nothing wrong with the cigar. So if you are a budget smoker,
I think you'd be over the moon.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll get into the scores. I was the highest at 5.50,
yes!
And you were right behind me at 5.20.
In your face, Loomis.
That's right. I scored the first third good. I thought it was a good first third. I mean, there was enough tobacco flavored from the flavor from the tobacco to go along with that flavored cap, that I thought it was a good enough cigar. I mean, if it kind of kept that complexity further, this would score even better. But the sweetness from the cap kind of starts fading out, and then it made that transition right in the middle of the second third. So I had to take it down to the average, and then the final third was just it wasn't that great, but really good construction. I mean, it beat out cigars that are supposed to be way better. So
I mean, like I said, I think in terms of if you consider this at the value, because it's tough to adjust our scale to sort of think about what it applies to in the value proposition. But if we were talking just in the value proposition cigars, this is one of the best value proposition cigars I think I've ever smoked. In fact, if we're talking value proposition cigars, it's like in the 8s, because I've never smoked like, honestly, the number of value proposition cigars where I've smoked and it's been a chore, and I'm like, this is not good. This is not a good cigar. I don't know how people can smoke this. What's wrong with your palate? And at no point was I thinking that during the smoking experience. So
exactly. All right, any other final thoughts on this one?
Download Drew Diplomat app and check that bad boy in.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, but seriously, I am interested in trying the other releases. I think
me too.
If they've tweaked the tobacco blend and it's got a little bit more tobacco complexity, I mean, hey man, $2, come on.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, if you're just catching this video on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to us. But also check out the full written review on the website developingpalates.com. Follow us on all the social media channels, and you can catch all of our review recaps on podcasts, iTunes, Google Play, and Podbean. Thank you for tuning in. We will catch you on the next one.
Drew Diplomat.